I'd like to announce the arrival of His Majesty's Opposition Leader, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, the political leader of the new National Party. Welcome, Mrs. Pierre.
She's sitting down. Come. You good? You okay? Good evening, friends. Welcome to the New York Support Town Hall meeting. My name is Denise Donaldson. I'm from the parish of St. John. My representative is Mr. Alvin Dabrio. This evening, I'll be one of the MCs. I'm one of the past presidents of this chapter in New York. I'm a silent member for our party, 20 years and more. I am not changing. I am not changing from my party. I'm staying green all the way. Okay. Huh? Who is it? Okay. Yeah, we're going to announce no one, so yeah. Just a minute, please. Okay, come, you know. You gotta come. You gotta come.
Let me announce the presence of the chairman of the new National Party, Dr. Adrian Joseph.
Yes. In all things considered, we do through the power of the Holy Spirit. Please stand as we open up this event with a word of prayer. We now welcome Mr. Colin Toussaint Jr. to lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Lord Father, I want to thank you for making sure everybody gets here safely. And I want to pray that everybody goes back home safely, Lord. Lord, as we all come together for this meeting, Lord, I pray that we have a great discussion, Lord. I pray that in this discussion, people will learn, people will grow, people will agree with each other, Lord. And I pray that as this meeting goes on, Lord, that we figure out some way to uplift our country, uplift our home, and uplift everybody that lives there so it could be the best. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Let us all remain standing in unity as we play the national anthems of our host country, the United States of America, followed by the national anthem of Grenada. Okay, folks, okay. Yeah, let's sing it. Let's sing it. Hail, Green Day, the land of us. We pledge ourselves.
Tommy, working for my party, faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might, working for the NNP. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party, faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might, working for the NNP. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You may have your seats. Huh? Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, members of the diaspora, members of the new National Party executive team, and my fellow Grenadians, Caracunians, Petermaticians here in New York. Welcome to our town hall meeting. My name is Aisha Khalees Olivier, and I am the chairman of the New National Party New York chapter, the 16th constituency. And it is an absolute honor to be standing before you tonight. Our theme today is building our future together and engaging the diaspora. Seeing so many of you here today proves that no matter how far we are, no matter the distance, the miles, it does not separate from us our sincere gratitude, how proud we are of our beautiful island, Grenada. The diaspora is not just people living abroad. It's a community. You in the diaspora, you are the backbone. The investors, the ambassadors, the brilliant minds that our nation needs to strive. This is about bridging the gap between New York and Grenada, ensuring your voices are heard, and uniting our efforts to shape a brighter and better tomorrow. We are incredibly blessed to have an outstanding delegation from home with us today. They have traveled far to share vital updates and, most importantly, to listen to you, the diaspora. So please, join me in showing standard protocol and giving a warm welcome. I want you to make sure and give the warm New York welcome to the visiting table our visionary, Honorable Emily Pierre, leader of His Majesty's opposition and political leader of the new National Party. Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox, representing Carriacou Affairs, Dr. Adrian Joseph, the chairman of the new National Party and candidate for St. George Northeast, Northwest. Sorry, Nimrod. We also have Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis, MP for St. Andrews Northeast. And here we have the gorgeous Mrs. Nolene Thompson, candidate for St. David's. Thank you all for being here. We have a very powerful program for you this evening, filled with national updates, and for a chance for you to ask questions, to state your concerns, any burning, lingering questions that you have in the interactive forum to follow. Let us engage, let us collaborate, and let us build the future together. Thank you and have a good afternoon. Before I leave, I would like to invite the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis to bring greetings. Welcome, Honorable Skeeter Lewis.
Thank you to our chairperson for the New York chapter. And of course, good evening, every one of you here in New York. Let me give special recognition to our head table, of course, our esteemed political leader, and she will be our next Prime Minister. The first female Prime Minister for our country, the Honorable Emily Pierre. Our Deputy Political Leader, Senator Nolan Cox. The party's chairman, Dr. Adrian Joseph. And my colleague, Sister Nolene Thompson. Brothers and sisters, it is definitely a privilege to be here with so many of you Grenadians who continue to share the love of home in the diaspora or wherever you go. Thank you for your warm welcome and for your unwavering commitment and support to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Although many of you live abroad, your hearts remain at home because you continue to support families, to contribute to our economy, and to stay deeply interested in the future of our country. Your voice matters, and your perspective is important. That is why we are here today for the Townhall meeting. Brothers and sisters, I want you to know that in Grenada today, many people are facing serious challenges. Families are struggling with the high cost of living. Our young people are searching for opportunities that they cannot find. And many citizens are just frustrated with a slow or zero pace of development. As members of the opposition, we believe that our country deserves better. And we are committed. We are committing to presenting an alternative that is built on transparency, accountability, and the people-centered leadership. You see, brothers and sisters, the role of the opposition is not just simply to criticize, but also to hold the government accountable and to speak for those voices that are being ignored, and to offer practical solutions that improves the lives of our people. And as the parliamentary representative for St. Andrew Northeast, I continue to stand with my constituents. I continue to ensure that their needs are fought for and they can enjoy a better constituency. We believe that Grenada deserves leadership that listens, that consults, and that works for the people, working alongside our people. Our vision is one where young people can build a successful career, or young entrepreneurs can grow their own businesses. So, to our brothers and sisters here in the diaspora, we need your continued support and partnership. Your ideas, your expertise, investment, and advocacy can help to shape a brighter future for our country. So we invite you to remain engaged and to ask questions, to hold our leaders accountable, and to be a part of the conversation about Grenada's future. Our nation has overcome many challenges before, and together we can do so again under the new National Party banner. So it is indeed my pleasure to be here with you and to thank you for your continued support, your love for our country, and your belief that better days are ahead under the new National Party. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Kate. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for His Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters on such a wonderful delivery. Are you listening? Yes. Are you taking in? Yes. All right. I like a very attentive audience. Make sure that you're participating, that you're digesting what has been the information that's been given to you, and you share the information. Do not just keep the information, but sharing is caring. All right. And you know, the only party that's always care for people in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatic is the NNP. There you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want to introduce a very powerful individual. I want to introduce to you Miss Nolene Thompson, the NNP candidate for St. David's. She brings a blend of professional expertise, grassroots engagement, and a reputation for steady people-centered leadership. She has built her career in business development and community outreach, earning recognition for her ability to connect with residents and listen deeply and translate concerns into practical action. Doesn't that tell you a lot, NNPites? All right. All right. I now introduce to you Miss Nolene Thompson, the candidate for St. David's. Make some noise.
New York. Good afternoon to everyone. To our political leader, Emmeline Pear, Deputy Political Leader, Nolan Cox, our Chairman, Adrian Joseph, and my fellow colleague, Kate Lewis. Friends, it is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with my fellow Grenadians. To everyone gathered here this evening from Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Long Island, New Jersey, and the surrounding communities, thank you for taking the time to be here. Your presence this evening says something important. No matter where life has taken you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique still hold a special place in your heart. And before I go any further, I want to begin with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifices you have made over the years. Many of you left Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique not because you stopped loving home, but because you wanted to create opportunities for yourselves and for the families you left behind. You worked long hours. Some of you worked 2 jobs. Some of you drove taxis through the streets of New York. Some worked in construction. Others became nurses, teachers, caregivers, office workers, and the list goes on. And many of you worked nights while your families slept, only to wake up and do it all again the next day. You sacrificed birthdays, anniversaries, and precious family moments. You endured homesickness. You missed weddings, funerals. You missed your children and grandchildren grow. Those sacrifices were real. And they were made because you believed that one day your efforts would create opportunities, not only for yourselves, but for your loved ones and for Grenada itself. You sent home money. You packed barrels. You supported elderly parents. And when hurricanes struck, many of the first calls for help were answered by you, the diaspora. Your generosity has touched every parish in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. And this afternoon, I want to say clearly to you, your country appreciates you. Your contributions matter. Your sacrifices matter. And your story is part of Grenada's story. And if no one has said it to you lately, let me say it tonight again. Thank you. Thank you for not forgetting home. Thank you for continuing to carry Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique in your hearts, even while building your lives thousands of miles away. This afternoon, I don't come before you as someone looking in or looking at the diaspora from the outside. I come to you as someone who has lived that experience. I lived in Toronto for many years. My father still lives there, along with my siblings. My brother is here with his wife and my cousins. I also have grandpa, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and many other relatives right here in New York. Like many of you, my family is spread across North America. But no matter where we live, our roots remain firmly planted in Grenada. And that is why I stand before you this afternoon, not only as the prospective new National Party candidate for the constituency of St. David, but as a fellow Grenadian who understands both the perspective of those living abroad and the perspective of those living at home. Because I firmly believe there is no us and them. There is only us. One people, one nation, one shared responsibility. Friends, sometimes, however, we see Grenada through different lenses. Those differences doesn't make one perspective right and the another wrong. They simply remind us that our experiences are different. Many of you return home every year. You spend precious time with family, you enjoy our beaches, attend carnival, you visit old friends, and enjoy the food you've been craving all year. And that's exactly what we should do. But friends, a vacation experience by its very nature is different from living in Grenada every single day. A 2-week visit cannot fully capture the daily realities of the single mother trying to stretch her grocery budget, or the young graduate searching for meaningful employment, the small business owner trying to manage rising costs, the farmer wondering whether the next crop will cover expenses, the fisherman facing increasing operational cost, or the family navigating the healthcare system while caring for an elderly parent. And those realities are not always visible during a visit home. And they are not always visible on social media. Because social media has become one of the main ways of many of us staying connected to Grenada. It helps us celebrate our successes. It keeps us informed. But sometimes it gives us only a story in part. A headline, a video clip, an opinion, a political argument. Rarely does it tell the full story. And that is why I encourage every Grenadian living abroad to do something simple but powerful. Talk to your family. Ask questions. Listen to your parents. Listen to your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, the teachers, the nurses, the farmers. Listen to the young people, because they are living the realities of Grenada every single day. Their experiences deserve to be heard. But at the same time, those of us who live in Grenada must also listen to the diaspora, because your experience matters too. Within this room are professionals with decades of experience in healthcare, education, public administration, and countless other fields, I would imagine. You have solved problems. You have built successful careers. You have learned lessons that can benefit Grenada. And your ideas should never be dismissed simply because you live abroad. Nation building requires listening in every direction. Recently, I met someone whose story has really stayed with me. She returned home after building an impressive professional career here in New York. Highly qualified, extensive work experience, and she returned genuinely because she loves home. But after 1.5 years, she said something that really touched me. She looked at me and said, "I love Grenada, but Grenada doesn't love me." And she has recently accepted a position in another Caribbean island because the opportunity she hoped for at home never came. And that conversation has stayed with me because she's not alone. There are many Grenadians abroad who dream of returning home. Some want to invest, some want to retire, some want to start a business, and some simply want to raise their children in the country they love. And if we truly want our people to come home, then we have to build a country where opportunity matches talent. A country that welcomes experience. A country where people feel they can contribute, succeed, and belong. And that is not just good for the returning nationals. It is good for Grenada. And again, as the prospective candidate for St. David, I believe our future depends on building stronger bridges between those at home and those abroad. Not just during an election season, not just when we need support after a disaster, but every day. Your voice should help shape policy. Your ideas should help shape development. And your expertise should help solve national challenges. Your love for Grenada should always have a place at the table. And that is why conversations like this tonight matter. Because nation building is not something that happens only in St. George's. It happens here in Brooklyn. It happens every time you mentor a young Grenadian, or every time you invest in a business back home, every time you encourage a student, and every time you support a community project. The distance between Brooklyn and Grenada may be measured in miles, but our commitment to our country should never be measured by geography. So whether you live in Brooklyn or in Beaton, Queens or Las Vegas, the Bronx or Belle Plaine, we remain one people, one nation, one future. So I have a simple request for you this evening. Stay connected, stay engaged, continue to ask questions, continue sharing your ideas, continue holding leaders accountable, continue believing in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, because your country still needs you, not just your financial support, not only in your investments, it needs your wisdom, your experience, your professional expertise, your mentorship. So tonight, I want to listen. I want to hear your ideas. I want to hear your concerns. I want to hear your experiences. I want to hear your vision for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So let it be the beginning of a stronger partnership, a partnership built on trust, on respect, on honesty, and on a shared commitment to building a stronger, fairer, and more prosperous Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Let us choose dialogue over division. Let us choose understanding over assumptions. Let us choose partnership over polarization. And let us never forget that the future of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique will not be built by those at home alone, nor by the diaspora alone. It will be built when we recognize that we are one people, united by one flag, one heritage, and one shared responsibility to leave our country stronger than we found it. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much, Sister Nolene Thompson, the prospective candidate for St. David's. Give her a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. She is not just a prospective, but will be the elected member for St. David's. If you agree with me, say yeah, yeah. That's right. She will be elected. And that's why I want you to encourage your fellow brothers and sisters back at home to go out in the numbers and get registered and vote for Nolene Thompson and the rest of the new National Party candidates on election day. Election could be called any day. So this is no time for playing games and saying that if you had known. You want to be called, and we know when the election is called, election is about a numbers game. So you want to be counted, so please go out and get registered. Are you registered? Are you encouraging your brothers and sisters back home to get registered? All right. Are you calling them steadily and getting the numbers in? All right, we got to do the work. Otherwise, we know what happens. And we don't want to go back there. We have too much to lose. All right? At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite a very powerful speaker. If your cell phone is on at this time, I would want to advise that you kindly switch them off. If it's on silent, take it off. Just take it off and listen attentively and pay attention to the next speaker who is coming to speak to you on matters of your country. Remember, our country matters. NNP together, we are united. At this time, I want to call Miss Dr. Adrian Joseph, Dr. Adrian Joseph brings a direct boot on the ground energy. Okay. Dr. Adrian Joseph brings a direct boot on the ground energy to St. George Northwest. He is not here to play political theatrics. He's here to work. He's here to listen. He's here to deliver. He is known for his steady temperament and community-first mindset. Dr. Joseph stands as a leader who moves with purpose and keeps his focus looking on the people who depends on strong, stable representation. He steps into a constituency shaped by legacy and high standards, positioning himself as a disciplined, reliable, and action-driven figure, ready to protect that legacy while pushing development forward. Dr. Joseph also strength is he shows up, he stands firm, and he gets the things done. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Dr. Adrian Joseph.
Wow, did you hear that? I was already nervous, and now the chairman here. Wow, I'm shaking. Is there love in the house here tonight? New York, is there love in the house here tonight? The next time a chairman introduces me, I simply want to be known as the person who is encouraging love in the house, love in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Because I believe at this time that is what we need. Our distinguished head table, my dear political leader, Honorable Emily Mpe. Deputy political leader, my brother, Nolan Cox, Senator Nolan Cox. The Honorable Short Boss, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lois. Give it up. My dear sister, and I want to make a special mention here this evening. She has grounded a plane in St. David's. She has them on the ground in the night with flashlight. Folks, give it up for my sister, Nolene Thompson. Folks, and I heard that they're getting nervous. Very speedy. I heard there's an Ayatollah up here trying to have another meeting. That's an indication of they're worried. Folks, we are here. We are here to bring love from home. We are here to hear from you. And for me, to have a serious conversation, because the diaspora is such an important element of our development. Happy am I to be here. Friends, each time Grenadians listen to the news these days, we wait with bated breath. We wait to hear the next policy announcement from Washington or Europe, and what it might mean for our lives and our livelihood back at home. Recent development from both the United States and the European Union has signaled a tightening international environment around immigration. Citizenship by investment programs. We have already seen concerns surrounding visa restrictions and immigration enforcement. You know, the proposed visa ban for some of the B1, B2 visa applicants. And now there is renewed pressure from Europe on our Caribbean CBI programs. What is interesting, Antigua and Barbuda has publicly acknowledged the latest EU communication and stated its position. Yet, home in Grenada, where our citizenship by investment program has become deeply intertwined with the national economy, Grenadians deserve clear, timely, and transparent communication about what this development means for our country. And what do we hear from our Prime Minister? Silence. But folks, the issue is bigger than CBI. It's about whether Grenada has a government capable of anticipating geopolitical change. Whether our government really communicates honestly with our people and developing serious strategies to protect our economy and its citizens. The world is changing rapidly, my friends. The question is, you must all ask, is Grenada prepared? Too often, Grenadians learn about matters affecting our country through foreign media, regional governments, or social media. We are then expected to wait patiently while silence, uncertainty, and speculation fill the information vacuum. I'm here to tell you tonight, my friends, that is not leadership. At moments of international uncertainty, a country needs a government that communicates, reassures, negotiates, and plans. Grenada cannot continue to operate on a strict need-to-know basis. Our livelihoods are at stake. Our economic future is on the breadline. But this moment, as challenging as it may appear, should also force a deeper national conversation. For generations, Grenada has exported some of its finest human capital to the world. Our nurses strengthen hospital in Britain and right here in New York. Our doctors, engineers, teachers, academics, entrepreneurs, financial professionals, and technology experts contribute to economies across the globe. Grenadians, my friends, are helping to build countries every single day. The question we must now ask is simple. How do we create conditions for Grenadian talent, capital, knowledge, networks to come back home and help build Grenada? This is the moment, my friends, we need to move from brain drain to brain gain. Our diaspora must no longer be viewed mainly as a source of remittances, barrels, hurricane relief, and occasional political fundraising. Our people abroad, our people here in New York, are much more than that. They are doctors, nurses, engineers, teachers, academics, technology specialists, financial professionals, entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators. They have experience, they have knowledge, they have networks, they have access to capital, and most importantly, many of them have a deep, deep love for Grenada. We must treat the Grenadian diaspora as a genuine developing partner. That relationship cannot become important only during an election cycle or after a hurricane. It must be continuous, it must be organized, and it must be strategic. Grenada needs a serious diaspora investment and facilitation framework. Not another office with impressive name and a little authority, but a genuine problem-solving mechanism. A Grenadian living in Brooklyn, Toronto, or London who wants to invest at home should not have to spend months calling different government departments trying to determine whose desk an application should be sitting on. There should be one point of contact, clear procedures, published timelines, and a digital platform through which applications submitted can be tracked. A Grenadian abroad should be able to open a phone and see, where is my application? What documents am I missing? Who is responsible for the next step? And when should I expect a decision? Government must work for the people, not send the people in circles. We should establish a structured Grenadian skills network, connecting our diaspora expertise directly to our national needs. Imagine an engineer, a Grenadian engineer here in New York, advising on major infrastructure projects at home. I'm sorry Perry is not here tonight, Sister Jenny. Imagine a specialist physician spending 2 weeks a year in Grenada, conducting clinics while training local doctors. Imagine, my friends, a successful Grenadian entrepreneur mentoring young business owners at home. Just imagine. This is how a small country should think big. Grenada have a small population, but Grenadians are everywhere. Our size does not have to be our weakness. If properly organized, it can be our advantage. This is also why current international environment requires us to rethink our economic model. For too long, small developing states have been vulnerable to decisions made elsewhere. One announcement in Washington, Brussels, or London can have immediate consequences for travel, trade, financial services, and investment and government revenue. We know we cannot control the decision of Mr. Trump. Every sovereign state will pursue policies it believes to be in its own interests. But Grenada has a responsibility to pursue ours. That means diversifying our economy, strengthening productive sectors, investing in our people, and reducing our vulnerability on external shock, my friends. If CBI is under increasing international pressure, where is Grenada's economic transition strategy? If migration pathways become more difficult, where is our strategy to create better opportunities at home? If global food prices rise, where is our serious national program for food production and agro-processing? If technology is transforming the global economy, where is our urgency around artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, software development, and digital entrepreneurship? These are serious questions leadership must answer, my friends. A crisis can become an opportunity, but only when it is managed strategically. We must build a Grenada where our young people do not feel that migration is the only route to success. We must build a Grenada where a young couple paying $1,500 every month in rent can see a realistic pathway to home ownership. We must build a Grenada where a qualified young person can see a future beyond waiting on a government job. We must build a Grenada where entrepreneurs are encouraged rather than exhausted by bureaucracy. We must build a Grenada where education is deliberately connected to industries and opportunities of the future. Our scholarship and training priorities must reflect the Grenada we are trying to build. Medicine, nurses, engineering, AI, cybersecurity, renewable energy, agricultural technology, food science, advanced tourism services, and the creative industry. Education must not simply produce certificate. It must produce transformation. The same is true for investment, my friends. Grenada must once again become a country where responsible investors feel confident. Capital goes where the rules are clear. Businesses grow where there is predictability. Investors commit where institutions work. We cannot say that we want investment and then frustrate every serious investor who attempts to do business. Nor should investment mean selling out Grenada. We need a responsible investment that creates jobs, transfers knowledge, and develops new industries, build local capacity, and leaves the country stronger than you found it. Beyond economics, my friends, lies something even more important: dignity. For too long, Caribbean migration has been narrated as an escape from limited opportunity. But the Grenada of 2026 cannot think like the Grenada of 1976. We are an independent nation with educated citizens, global connections, and a diaspora with extraordinary reach. What we lack, my friends, is not talent. What we lack is a national alignment of that talent around the serious development mission. What we lack is a progressive government. The world is reorganizing itself, friends, and Grenada must do the same. This is not a time for silence from government. It is a time for reactive leadership. It is a time to wait until it's not a time to wait until decisions are made elsewhere and then scramble to explain the consequences at home. This is the time for diplomacy. This is the time for transparency. This is the time for economic diversification. This is the time for diaspora partnership. This is the time to turn brain drain into brain gain. This is the time to put Grenadians first. To our brothers and sisters across the diaspora, the message must be absolutely clear. Grenada does not only need what you can send home. Grenada needs what you know. Grenada needs your experience. Grenada needs your network. Grenada needs your ideas. Grenada needs your investment. Grenada needs your mentorship. Grenada needs your voice. And for those who dream of returning, whether permanently or for part of the year, we must build a country that makes that return possible. The call to come home cannot be a sentimental one alone. It must be supported by policy, by opportunity, by functioning institutions, by investment incentives, by an efficient government services, by a country in which competence matters and people can believe again that hard work and excellence will be rewarded. From the beaches of Miami to the boroughs of Brooklyn, from Toronto to London, and everywhere Grenadians have planted roots, the message must go out. Do not give up on hope. The world may be changing around us, but Grenada remains ours to shape. If pathways abroad become narrower, let us widen pathways to opportunities at home. If global uncertainty increases, let us strengthen our resilience. If external forces, if external pressure forces us to rethink old economic model, let us have the courage to build new ones. Let us shift from dependency to productivity, from uncertainty to strategy, from silence to real leadership. The world is reorganizing itself, my friends. So must we. Grenada is calling, and together at home and across the diaspora, we must answer. Let us put Grenadians first. Love in the house. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adrian Joseph, the potential candidate for St. George Northwest. Are you taking in what the speakers are giving, the information that they're giving you so far? All right. So I want you to participate. As I said before, I like an audience that's very participative. At this time, I'm looking in straight into the camera, and I know definitely that people are listening from all over the world. And they're also listening to you, the very active audience. I can feel that sense of seriousness coming from you. You listen very carefully with purpose. You listen with purpose. I can feel that from you. So the energy is right. At this time, I want you to join me to encourage your fellow brothers and sisters around the world, and not only in Grenada, who have a stake in Grenada and can go to Grenada and be in Grenada, not just for a show, but be able to go home and exercise the civic right. All right, so I want to remind the people of the world, of Grenada as well, that back home, you must check the voters list. It's very important that you check the voters list. All right, you have to check to make sure that your name is correctly spelled and you are in the proper constituency to vote on election day. We know definitely that the other side, they are trying to bring home people who doesn't even represent Grenada in any way. Are you going to allow that to happen, for someone to just come and just push you aside? All right. Thank you very much, sister. You said, no way. That's so true. While the NNP travels on business, the other party is always traveling on joyride. Wasting government's money. But we have to keep pushing the important thing here. As we said, make sure that you are registered and your name is on the voters list. All right? Correct. That's correct. Okay. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce a very down-to-earth person to you. Somebody who's very grassroots, rooty person, as I should say, from my constituency, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Put your hands together for Mr. Nolan Cox. All right, so I'm going to read a short bio on Mr. Nolan Cox. Mr. Nolan Cox stands out as a no-nonsense, get-it-done leader, representing Carriacou and Petit Martinique under the NNP banner, with years of public service experience and a reputation for ground-level leadership. He brings a sharp focus on stability, development, and accountability, qualities the Sister Isle demands and respect. Not somebody who's costing the police. All right. Mr. Cox is known for being accessible, disciplined, and action-oriented, pushing forward initiatives that strengthens families, support youths, and improve everyday lives across Carriacou and Petit Martinique. His leadership style is directly listening to the people, fixing what needs to be fixed, and moving the constituency forward with purpose. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the constituency of Carriacou and Petit Martinique candidate, Mr. Nolan Cox.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. New York, pleasant afternoon. You've been a wonderful audience thus far. Truly blessed as well. Let me take this opportunity to recognize my esteemed political leader, the Honorable Emblem Pierre. a distinguished chairman of our party, Dr. Adrian Joseph. On this side, I'm going to add some adjectives. The unstoppable Kate, Honorable Kate Lewis Peters. And this evening, I was blessed with an adjective for our dear friend, gorgeous Sister Nolene Thompson. That is what I heard this evening. I want to also recognize Mrs. Nimra, the chairperson of the NNP support group. And of course, I have a biased responsibility towards Carriacou and Pidimatnik, and so I must recognize the chairperson of the Carriacou and Pidimatnik support group here in New York, and of course, members of that group. Brothers and sisters, fellow citizens of Grenada, Carriacou and Pidimatnik, it is with a heart full of humility and a spirit of fire with purpose that I stand before you here in this great New York City this evening. You know, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. And nowhere is that truth more evident than in the bond that lies between you, our beloved diaspora, and our islands, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimatnik. This evening, we are not just here to ask for your support or to ask for your vote. We are here to salute you. And of course, we are here to thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do for Grenada. We are here to acknowledge the monumental, and I mean monumental, contribution you have made to the advancement and development of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidimatnik. The diaspora is a pillar to our country. For decades, your support has been invisible, yet unshakable. An unshakable pillar on which our communities have been built and sustained for decades. While we speak of government policies, national budgets, you have been the practical architect of hope for our country. Be it in healthcare, be it in education advancement, be it in sports and social development, you have stand with Grenada. But I must speak, as I said earlier, with a bias of responsibility for the beautiful islands of Carriacou and Pidimatnik. I must be the voice at this point in time. And we have experienced the tragedy of burial, and of course, the heartfelt support that the diaspora has meted out to us. Nowhere was this more evident than in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, a monster storm that destroyed our islands, leaving a path of destruction that shook us to the very core. It was you, it was our diaspora who moved with speed and compassion to serve and to support families home. You mobilize and send supplies. You raise funds. And most importantly, you sent a message of solidarity that is louder than the roaring winds of burial. You were the livelihood and the lifeblood that flow back to us in our darkest hour. And for that, we are forever grateful. But I must speak of the hard truth. The tale of 2 recoveries. My friends, this evening, it is with a heavy heart that I must speak a hard truth to you. The reality on the ground after 2 years after the passage of Hurricane Beryl is still a bitter one for many families. While our country has reported that we have received hundreds of millions of dollars in international donations for recovery and rebuilding, the simply and devastating fact is that many of our people have not yet received a single dollar of support for the families. Some of you who have families back home might be shocked to hear this, but this is a certain fact. For those who have received help, we are truly grateful for that. But we must also be honest that this help, these resources that were meant to bring relief, have been weaponized. They have been used as a tool to control, a tool to create duress for families in need. We have heard heartbreaking stories. People being forced to profess certain political loyalties to qualify for a roof over their heads. People are being forced to congregate with certain individuals to create a picture of support in order to be chosen for support. People living in fear, afraid to attend certain social functions or to be seen in a photograph with someone for fear of being automatically disqualified for receiving aid. And the most, I believe, have been really insulting one of all. Some of our own people, our own citizens, were simply told, go and let Nolan Cox and the NNP build your house for you. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, how did we get here? How did we, the people of Carriacou and Petit Matnik, arrive at this point? How did we get to a place where resources that belong to the people have been used to hold our families at ransom? Where are the published criteria? Where are the transparent processes? Where are the fair and logical structures to ensure a rebuilding plan that is just for all? Because of this deliberate and deceptive policy, the current situation is a very provision of justice. Just imagine, brothers and sisters, there are senior citizens currently right now who lost everything, their home and all their belongings, and they are still stuck in senior citizens' homes on mainland Grenada as we speak. While individuals who never, ever owned a home are now enjoying the comfort of a brand new house. Where is the fairness? Where is the decency? Let us remind ourselves of the fact that the Caribbean Catastrophic Risk Insurance Facility was created by the new National Party government. A visionary policy that generated in excess of $118 million for recovery needs 14 days, exactly 14 days after the hurricane, alongside with generous contributions from other donor governments and institutions. So do not let anyone, and I say, do not let anyone, and I mean anyone, make you feel that they are doing you a favor by rebuilding your house. These are state funds. They are set aside for disaster relief and should never, ever be a bargaining chip for political support. And what is even more concerning is the rampant reports of corruption associated with these recovery efforts. Millions have been allegedly funneled to personal and political associates. The people of Carriacou and Pitimatnik are fully aware of these deals, the racket, and how our state funds have been misused. So much so that some feel emboldened to make public statements that they are set for life, no matter the result of the next elections. This is telling. It is clear that this was never about people, but about self. So I say, if you are set for life, then simply step aside. Because many Carriacouans and Pitimatnikians are not set for life. And brothers and sisters, our fishermen, scores of fishermen have not yet received the support, the very relief support, who lost their livelihoods, who lost their boats, have not yet received a cent. Yet, funds have been paid out to individuals who never owned a boat or knew anything how to even to operate a boat. They have received funds, and that's a fact. Our farmers, while some of our farmers receive some support, there are others who have not received support for their destroyed farms. But those with small backyard gardens have received relief support. Where is the fairness? The daily struggles of ordinary citizens have been tough, continue to be a present challenge. The injustice extends beyond the hurricane, brothers and sisters. During the recent dry season, the lack of appropriate support from the government was unacceptable. Because we had so much destruction, a lot of homes without roofs, that present a challenge for water. Because in Carriacou and Pitimatnik, we harvest water from rainfall. So which means that there was less capacity to collect, less capacity to store as well. Families were struggling to get water for the daily use. I tell you, sometimes when I kneel down to pray at night, so I pray for rain because we couldn't take another month of dry season because I know the challenge that persons were going through. Even myself and I as well. I even was afraid to open my tank to see how much water I had inside my tank. That to tell you how difficult it was for many persons, many families. That is why, brothers and sisters, because of who I am, because of what we represent, because of our philosophy as a party, that is why I took it upon myself, with the help of concerned community members, to place water tanks in various communities to alleviate the water shortage for some families. It was a small gesture, but it was a gesture of love for our people. While the expansion of the water distribution network, and which, let us be clear, that was started by the new National Party government, the current administration has failed to make it accessible. Brothers and sisters, could you imagine you're asking persons to pay in excess of $1,500 to get a water connection from Nawasa? They are already struggling with expenses for their home. And because of this cost of connection, it's simply making it inaccessible for a number of needy families. Therefore, brothers and sisters, we have taken a bold approach, and we have looked at it, and we have made certain assessments. And we will implement a program once given the opportunity, brothers and sisters, once given the opportunity to handle the responsibilities of Carriacou and Petit-Martinic after the next general election. We will implement a program to ensure that water connection for all homes in Carriacou and Petit-Martinic to Nawassa network will be not only will be free, connection will be free for all homes in Carriacou and Petit-Martinic. We believe this is a win-win situation for both needy families and, of course, Nawassa. This will increase access for needy families, and in turn, it will increase revenue for Nawassa from the sale of water. So, brothers and sisters, we are leading while not in charge. Brothers and sisters, sometimes, in this business of the people, you hear things, but it's important to reiterate them. And I'm speaking about a hypocrisy. The hypocrisy on the issue of roads and infrastructure development. The current administration has vilified the New National Party government for talking about building roads when we were in government, to the point where a government minister vowed to the world to commit himself to a mental institution if he took credit for building roads. And that's a fact. He said it. Yet today, brothers and sisters, the very said minister is praising himself, cutting ribbons for the very same thing that he condemned. Could you imagine? This says everything you need to know about integrity or lack thereof. But there are many questions. There are many questions that have been asked by our people. Many questions. Why is the government building a mall in Hillsborough when our recreational grounds, which they deliberately destroyed, are not being properly restored? Why is the government saying to the world that there is a building school in Wynwood when this school has no students, no tutors, no syllabus, non-existent? This is serious. Why is Carriacou still waiting for its fire truck, which was ordered by the outgoing New National Party government? And what about the health care in Petit-Martinic? More than 10 months, the current administration received significant support, private support for rebuilding the health center in Petit-Martinic. They had a sword-turning ceremony to replace the roof on the clinic. And to this day, the clinic is still unfinished. So those are some of the questions, brothers and sisters. But I must speak on one very important matter, and that has to do with the issue of the policy for infrastructure that is implemented by this government. Design, finance, build, and maintain policy. Brothers and sisters, this policy is geared to do two things. It's going to happen. It is going to create immense debt for this country, and it is also creating the issue of lack thereof access for our local contractors to access government work. I believe it's a deliberate act, and I don't understand why some persons who claim to love this country are doing everything to destroy it. Brothers and sisters, a vision for the future and unity of this country. Brothers and sisters, we have long We have a long road ahead of us. But I stand here today filled with hope because of you, the diaspora. We know that our ideologies, our philosophies may differ on certain matters, even politically. But we have one common burning goal to achieve the absolute best for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique. We are actively advancing plans to create more opportunities, which our political leader will speak about, for you, our diaspora, and to enhance our relationships. We in Carriacou are also looking to see how we can enhance that relationship. And we are working towards a plan for establishing a department for the diaspora in Carriacou, so that Carriacouans and Petit-Martiniquans can have an opportunity to have a direct interface in terms of communication for either information, benefits, or services. We believe that the time is now for that to be established. But I must say that we are very encouraged by your support this evening. We are very encouraged by your support last night as well. We are not perfect, brothers and sisters, but we are driven with a purpose and a passion to serve you, the people. I look at the challenges we face. The whole issue of corruption, the whole issue of inequality. But we must do better. We deserve better. And I believe it is important to understand and to remain grounded in the fact that NNP is better for everybody. So let us work together to build a better Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique that is worthy of the sacrifices you have made. A home where integrity, fairness, and opportunity reign supreme. Together, we will restore our islands. Together, we will rebuild our pride. Together, we will rebuild our future that shines brighter than ever before. May God continue to bless Grenada, bless Carriacou, and bless Petit-Martinique, and blessings to you, the diaspora. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as I say, and I want you to remember and leave here with this, NNP is better for everybody.
Thank you very much, Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands again for Mr. Cox. All right. All right, we are not stepping into this fight quietly. We are stepping in prepared, disciplined, and united. The other side can keep guessing, but we are already moving. We are already organizing, and we are already paving that momentum, which lives right here. We are not waiting for permission. We are ready. And if they think they can win an election, tell them, ring the bell. Okay, they're ready? Ring the bell. Or if you think they can win, ring the bell. Okay, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, let them talk. We are doing the work. While they scramble, we are building. While they hesitate, we are advancing. This is not just noise. It's a warning shot. We are ready, we are steady, and we are coming with purpose. What's the last words I said? We are coming with purpose. There you go. At this time, I want to call another person but Miss Wendy Maguire to introduce your political leader, our political leader, the next Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Thank you, thank you. Before I begin, I just want to have a little piece of information to give you guys. So just in case you see this fall off, no laughing, no taking videos and sharing it. It's not mine. I forgot mine home. Now we're moving on. Pleasant good evening to everyone. My name is Wendy Ann Maguire. And today I have the task to introduce the most important lady, our next female president, our first female president of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The Honorable Emmeline Pierre. Emmeline Pierre has a dynamic track record of service to youth and national development in Grenada. Her professional journey commenced as a young journalist, transitioning into a teaching role and subsequently assuming the position of Deputy Director of Youth. Her passion, drive, and expertise gave her the opportunity to expose her talents in various voluntary roles, including Regional Coordinator of the Commonwealth Youth Program, President of the Leo Club of St. George and St. Andrews, President of the National Youth Council, and the host of television and radio programs aimed at youth empowerment. She later served as a government minister and member of parliament. At a vibrant age of 27, Emmeline Pierre entered Grenada's upper house of parliament in 2003. She has since served as Minister of Youth, Sports, and Religious Affairs, followed by Minister of Education, Human Resource Development, Information, and Religious Affairs. Over the past 2 decades, she has been an integral figure in frontline politics, elected as a Member of Parliament on 3 consecutive occasions. She is the political leader of the new National Party in Grenada and the opposition leader in Grenada. In addition to her public service, Mrs. Pierre has been a consultant since 2011, offering her expertise to both the public and private sectors, locally and regionally. She holds fellowship status with the Institute of Leadership and Management and is a certified leadership practitioner, a trained leadership assessor, and a trained executive and life coach. Mrs. Pierre has also served as a guest lecturer from time to time. Mrs. Pierre has pursued studies in areas such as youth development, leadership, emotional intelligence, and human resource management. She also holds a master's in business administration, specializing in leadership and innovation from Edinburgh Napier University, and is currently pursuing doctoral studies at Walden University. Her steadfast work ethic and unwavering commitment to excellence are understanding. Married for 31 years, Mrs. Pierre is a devoted mother of 3 boys, a community leader, and a minister in the New Testament Church of God in Grenada. Ladies and gentlemen, your next female Prime Minister for Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
New York! New York! New York! Note I never said NPIs. Good evening to every single one of you. I feel so overjoyed being here with you last night and again this evening. But permit me to segue and to recognize some very important people at the head table. And I want to ask them, they've been introduced so many times before. I want to ask them to stand and take a bow this evening. I'm going to invite Brother Cox, Brother Adrian, Sister Nolan, Sister Kate to stand. Brothers and sisters, these are members of the winning team of the new National Party. Team that have committed themselves to serve Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. But I'll tell you what I'm most proud about as it relates to this team. It's not just their competence, but it's the fact that they are prepared to serve, service above self. Put your hands together for an amazing team. I believe, brothers and sisters, without a shadow of a doubt, that these members, in addition to those who did not make the trip, they are going to turn Grenada around for the better. And that you can be assured that your family at home, your children at home, your grandchildren at home will be better off because of the new National Party's team. Put your hands together for them. Thank you. So, distinguished members of the head table this evening, I want to recognize Sister Oliver and members of the New York NNP support team, other supporters and executive members of the party here, every single Grenadian in this room, I greet you this afternoon. God bless you. As I said before, it's indeed a pleasure for us. There's so much that's happening, but we had to do this. We had to be present with you face to face to engage. Brothers and sisters, I want to express my appreciation for your support last night, your financial contributions. And I'm totally out of words to describe the audience here tonight. Many of you left up almost midnight last night. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Many of you, okay, I heard you. You left after midnight, 4 a.m., I heard you. And the fact that you came back in such large numbers this afternoon, I feel confident that you are ready to work together. You mean business, I heard you. You are ready for the journey ahead for a better Grenada. And I am so encouraged, I'm sure, that I'm speaking for every member of our team this afternoon. To the team that has worked extremely hard, and I know it can look simple. It can look that we just had a fundraiser and we are just having another meeting I want to ask members of the planning and organizing team, the executive, where is Sister Oliver and her executive? Could you stand and take a bow? Sometimes we underestimate what is required. Put your hands together for them. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we know the sacrifice you made to make this possible just for us. We appreciate you. Brothers and sisters, if you listened and you followed the presentations, you would realize that Sister Nolan and Brother Adrian would have clearly detailed to you our intentions as it relates to the diaspora. When we discussed this meeting, we specifically designed their presentations around you. But as I listened and as I reflected on what they were going to share with you, I thought to myself, if we stop there, then you may have very little reason to want change. Because you see, what they presented to you, I describe as excellent ideas, excellent initiatives that we are committed to. Things that we are saying to you we will do when we form the next government. But guess what? They would remain on paper unless you have a reason that you need a change of government. And that is why you notice it was a combination. So Sister Kate, Brother Cox, and myself would present to you the reality of what is happening in Grenada and why there is a need for a change in government at this time. Brothers and sisters, there is a truth that no one can deny. Regardless of how far you go, regardless of how long you've been out of Grenada, there is a single truth. And that truth is, your love for your country grows stronger and stronger. And that your contribution to Grenada continues to grow. Your commitment can never be measured. And Brother Adrian and Sister Nolan said it excellently. Could never be measured by just remittances back home. You are far more than remittances and barrels and boxes and crates. You are so much more, and we value every single one of you. And that is why I say to you this evening, as we prepare the plan to govern this country, the diaspora is going to form a critical part of the future of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Brothers and sisters, your contributions must also be measured by your investment in Grenada, as was said before. The sharing of your professional expertise, even more than you have done in the past. Your support for family, your support for friends, even those of you who support the most vulnerable at home. Brothers and sisters, we see your contributions. We welcome you. Special recognition. Brothers and sisters, and that is why The presentation by Brother Adrian and Sister Nolan was so important because we want to say to you this evening that your contribution to the Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique is felt and it's appreciated. Many people home, and I can say this as a fact, many people home do not yet understand and appreciate the sacrifices that you have to make to do what you do. Many people take what you do for granted. But I say to you this evening, the new National Party's team, as we prepare to get into government, will not take your contribution for granted. We are going to respect your contribution, value your contribution, and I say we will maximize the contributions that you can make to your country's development. You are doing a great job building this country. But we also believe that while you do this, many of you are capable of doing even more for your own country if we create the enabling conditions to make that possible. And that is our pledge to you this evening. So that is why, brothers and sisters, we see you as a key player in our Better Grenada plan, because you are first proud Grenadians before you are members of the diaspora. You are Grenadians first and foremost. And again, we want to thank you. So a Better Grenada plan would therefore provide greater support for returning nationals, will focus on improved health care and other services that you view as critical when you return to Grenada. Our Better Grenada plan would provide opportunities to fully utilize your skills and talents of those who serve from the diaspora and those who will serve home. And I say to you, it's not lip service, because there will be a seriously organized initiative that would be well coordinated from here and in Grenada. Well-structured program. I am convinced, therefore, that together we are ready to implement solutions to the problems that we face at home. Solutions, brothers and sisters, that would strengthen our partnership. You here in the diaspora, those who will soon return home, and of course, your new National Party's team. We will take Grenada into the next chapter together. And that is why today is not just simply about our wonderful speeches. It is about conversations, because we want to hear from you. It is about listening to you. And above all, it is about our shared commitment to Grenada's future. The future of this country, Grenada, is too important for us to take it lightly. And that is why we are here. Brothers and sisters, I want to be honest. I want to be truthful with you, because you deserve to know the truth. You deserve to know the truth. We have been accused of talking too much. We have been accused of complaining too much. As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister described us as yapping. And you know, when somebody yap, it means they become very annoying. Yeah? But I want to give one commitment to you this evening, that this team, if it means that we have to continue to yap, we are going to do that for the people of this country. Because you know what? Every Grenadian deserves to be heard. Every voiceless person must be represented, and that is our responsibility. But I say to you, even more than that, we have a serious responsibility as an opposition to hold the government accountable. They must never be allowed to think that they can do anything and get away with it, because they are the servants of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So I wish to use this opportunity, brothers and sisters, to provide you with an overview of how I see the current social and economical situation in our country unfolding. Because sometimes you get to hear one side of the story. I want to share with you the dangers that confronts our country at this time. And most importantly, because hearing our plans is one thing. If you don't understand the danger, and if you don't understand why we cannot continue on the current trajectory, then it makes no sense that we are even sharing with you this afternoon. We cannot continue on the road that we are going. Brothers and sisters, only recently, the government released a 2025 annual debt report. And I want to share with you, as I said, as clear as I can, so that you understand what is happening at home. That report, as I said, published by the government, confirms the harsh economic reality that Grenada currently faces. It confirms what we have been saying for months is happening in Grenada. The country's fiscal position has fundamentally weakened, placing our country at economic risk. Brothers and sisters, they will not tell you, but I will, that Grenada recorded an overall fiscal deficit of approximately 7.2% of GDP in 2025. And that is approximately $300 million in deficit. Brothers and sisters, this represents a significant shift from the 6.7% surplus that we had in 2024. In other words, we are going down quickly, highlighting a substantial deterioration in the country's fiscal position. And I said to my husband, with or without voice this afternoon, the truth must be told. Brothers and sisters, the national debt stands at about $2.8 billion at this time. And mind you, this situation is after the government would have inherited close to $500 million when they entered government in 2022. In other words, we have some great plans for the diaspora, but you need to understand why there is need for change so that we can implement these very important plans. So we are deeply in the red after a government inherited almost $500 million in reserves in the Treasury. But not just that. Brothers and sisters, you may not know, but our current administration would have sold over 11,000 passports and generated, they boasted, $1 billion in revenue from passport sales. On top of that, you may not know either that when the NNP was in office, we took out an insurance policy for the country against disaster. And because of this, 14 days after Hurricane Beryl, the NDC administration received $118 million in addition to all the millions that I referred to. Why are we in the red? And all of these figures that I just referenced, I did not reference a cent from the collection of revenues locally, not 1 cent. Question is, why are we in the red? So that is why I say to you this evening, our government has no excuse why after 4 years, not one new single major project has been started in Grenada. 4 years. There is no reason, brothers and sisters, why so many contractors going on 2 years in some cases cannot be paid. There is no reason, after all that I've shared with you, why we can understand doctors in some cases, our young doctors, 6 months not being paid a salary. Brothers and sisters, with these monies that our government has been handling, it is difficult to understand why in some schools, our school feeding program cannot provide healthy meals consistently for our children. Brothers and sisters, it is even more difficult to understand why when you visit a medical center with that much monies available to government, why basic medication, sometimes even gauze, cannot be available for those who visit. Brothers and sisters, it's difficult to understand. After accessing so many millions of dollars, why people in Carriacou and Pitimatnik are still wetting after Hurricane Beryl. Brothers and sisters, we find it difficult to understand why no serious measure has been taken by our government to help reduce the burdens of the rising cost of living. You see, it is difficult for us to be silent when we observe these things. How do you have a conscience and not speak about it? How do you have a conscience and look at these situations knowing that within the first year in office, government ministers took 150% increase in salaries? How do you not speak about these matters? But you know, the spending of the government has become painful to us as an opposition. Imagine, brothers and sisters, $25 million was spent on Project Polaris before the sod turning ceremony. $25 million. I can only agree with you, Polaris. Brothers and sisters, it is painful to shut up when the government spends $17 million to build 17 two-bedroom units. $17 million for 17 units. How can you stay quiet? How could you not yap about things like that? But you know, brothers and sisters, they would not tell you these things. So they will not come here to tell you that they spent over $1 million on food and drinks only for their 50th anniversary celebration of independence. They will not tell you that over $1 million was spent only on decorations. They will not tell you that another $1 million was spent to light the carnage and to fly the drones. They will not tell you the truth. That is why we are here, because you need to understand why we believe there is a change, a need for change in Grenada. Brothers and sisters, they will not tell you that a part of the 50th anniversary of independence, the Prime Minister hosted some guests from Africa, and it cost taxpayers almost $300,000. How can we be so reckless when a person visiting a medical center cannot get basic medication? How can a government be comfortable with that kind of spending? How can the Prime Minister be comfortable using $20,000 of taxpayers' monies every month to pay to rent a house when the Prime Minister's residence is empty? How can we stay silent? How can we stay quiet? Brothers and sisters, it pains us every time we talk, but someone has to stand up for Grenada, Carriacou, and Titimatnik. All of these, brothers and sisters, does not include the millions that are spent every year for the frequent traveling around the world, every part of the world, with a huge entourage. Imagine you have to carry your secretary, you have to carry your chief of staff, you have to carry your cameraman, and the list goes on and on at the expense of taxpayers. How could we not tell you what is happening with your monies? Many of you right here, you pay taxes at home, and it is my duty as leader of the opposition, as leader of our party, to tell you what's happening with your tax monies. Brothers and sisters, how could we stay quiet when a situation like this exists and the government decides to buy 15 brand new vehicles for members of parliament? How can we stay quiet? One of the vehicles already write off. And right now, the parliament is questioning the use of these vehicles by some members of parliament because of where those vehicles are seen and what they're being used for. How can we stay quiet? Brothers and sisters, it is our duty to hold our government accountable. So I'm convinced, there is no doubt, that there's a problem of mismanagement in Grenada. Mismanagement of the people's resources. But not just mismanagement, there's a serious problem of lack of love for people. Because if you love people, if you care about people, you would cut these reckless spending to do more for the people of the country. And that is why tonight I say to you this evening, it does not have to be this way. And it does not have to continue. The NNP team is ready to change this situation and to do better for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique. And that is why we are here. We are here because we have put together a first draft of our Grenada plan, a better Grenada plan, the People's Manifesto. So all candidates have been out in their communities. They have been engaged. Our people have been engaged, house to house. We hear the issues. We identify the problems. And we have collected solutions at all levels of our society. We've been consulting with our stakeholders, Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the trade unions. We have been consulting with civil society and various organizations. Because I'll tell you what, when we present our manifesto, it must be a manifesto of the people, for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique. And so we are now into the second round, and we are going to be very happy to hear from you this afternoon. This is our commitment to you initially. Brothers and sisters, we are ready. We are committed to recovering the economy, putting monies back in the pockets of our people. We are committed to shutting down reckless borrowing, reckless spending, and runaway deficits. We are committed to rebuilding our reserve. As our grandmothers would tell us, put away something for rainy days. We are prepared to do it again. We are prepared to invest in agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, so that the growth reaches the ordinary man and woman on the ground. We see the increase in gambling. Brothers and sisters, we see the increase in abuse of alcohol. We see the increase in gun violence among our young people. We see the increase in suicide. What more do we need to see to know that we are going down the wrong road? And that is why we are standing by and we are ready to expand our youth programs. We are ready, brothers and sisters, to engage in far more community programs involving our stakeholders, providing greater opportunities for our young people for participation, employment, and empowerment of our youth. We will focus on more programs that are centered on supporting families financially, but are programs that are prepared to strengthen our family structure. There's a problem, and we are ready to respond. Brothers and sisters, we want to reset the button of education reform, and we want to make sure that there's a priority on community development. Under the Better Grenada plan, the focus will not just be on better for everybody. I cannot understand up till this day how we can have a prime minister on a national platform speaking about them, meaning NNP, and us, meaning NDC. I say to you, when we assume office, there will be no them and us. There will be Grenadians,
Caricunians and Pittimatnicans. Grenadians, Caricunians, and Pittimatnicans. That is what it is after elections are over. We want to serve our people. Brothers and sisters, fellow Grenadians, Grenada deserves leadership, honest leadership, leadership that is prepared to name the problem and competent enough to fix the problem. We have turned the economy around before, and with your support, the support of those who have committed to work for a better Grenada, we are prepared to do it again. And what I love about this team, we have a youthful team, energy, passion, love for people. But guess what? We have so many persons surrounding us with the experience, brothers and sisters, the expertise to support and to push us on to ensure that we have a better Grenada for everybody. So this Better Grenada plan, I say to you this evening, they keep asking, what are you planning to? We keep saying what we are going to do, and they're not listening. That is the problem. We are going to treat taxpayers' money with respect. We are going to bring immediate relief to the cost of living that is happening right now. People are struggling, and we are going to do it through discipline, fiscal discipline, and honest leadership. We will convert waste into direct relief. Every dollar we save by cutting out the fat out of government will be redirected to where it matters, removing unnecessary taxes that have been imposed by this government, easing the burdens on electricity bill, implementing national health insurance. So just like you, people home can pull out the insurance card and go to the doctor, go to the pharmacy, and get the help that they truly deserve. We will pay our people on time, and we will ensure that public servants, local contractors are paid precisely what they are owed and when they are owed it, putting cash back into our local communities where it can circulate and it can stimulate our economy. We will invest far more in lowering food prices. We will reduce reliance on volatile sectors and programs like the CBI program, short-term revenue, and we will invest more, and I'm quite sure you'll be happy to know agriculture will be a priority for a new government. Agriculture will be given top priority. Manufacturing and tourism will be seen as complementary. And that is why this is so important. Because brothers and sisters, by increasing support for farmers, growing more of our own food, we can drive down our grocery bills, and we can cut our import bill for food, which is currently about $600 million per year. This is what this new team is prepared to do. So I am confident, brothers and sisters, that this team will make it better for Grenada. And I ask you this evening to give us your full support to ensure that the team of the new National Party delivers better for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pittimatnik. Finally, brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you to stay connected. I want you to make a commitment. If you go online, I want to encourage you before the night ends, check out our new website, nnpnow.gd. Online, you can stay connected. you can see us and see what's happening. But not just that, you can sign up online to become official members of our party. You can pay your membership dues online. You can make donations to the party online. I am saying to you, let us partner together for a better Grenada. Because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that NNP is better for our economy. I believe that NNP is better for our families. And I believe that NNP is better for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martini. God bless you. God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martini.
At this time, I would like for you to take your seat, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's all the momentum and the good energies flowing. Love in the house. Love in the house. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the end. We have a question and answer segment, which we want you to participate in and direct your questions or comments to the candidates and our political leader. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's quiet down a bit, please. Those of you at the back, you can come back to your seats so we can continue. We can ask a question. Okay, we're gonna have a first question.
Good evening, everyone.
Testing.
Okay. Okay, my first question.
Testing.
Test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Please be quiet so we can do our question and answer. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My first question is, what plans y'all have for persons with dealing with cancer? You know, it's something very on the rise right now, and people have to leave Grenada to go to other countries to have like radiation and different, you know, what plans that you guys have for cancer? It could be kids, it could be men, it could be women.
Okay, everybody heard the question? All right, so could we all be back together again? I know you're excited and I know you're ready to build a better Grenada. All right, so the question asks, what is the plan for persons who need treatment as it relates to cancer? And that brings me to the vision of the new National Party for Healthcare. And just to say that Right Home in Grenada, started by the new National Party, there are Grenadians who are able to receive treatment for cancer at home, right? I know persons personally who are currently receiving treatment for cancer. They did not have to leave home. Now, all of this was part of our vision for the expansion and the development of healthcare at home. And what we intend to do is to expand this so that more services can be provided. But very importantly, I want to say to you that our vision included having a polyclinic in every parish in Grenada. So that is why we constructed the Guelph Polyclinic, where you can access all of your basic diagnostic services, 24-hour ambulance care, 24-hour nursing care. That's the vision of the NNP for every parish, the vision of the NNP. And these secondary services, we want to ensure that we expand on those. So we are going to continue to expand those services so that more persons would be able to benefit and that we have more persons with technical skills on island to deliver those. But I also want to make the point of cost. Most of the persons who I know are accessing cancer treatment. It is very costly for the average person. And that is why, again, a top priority for us must be national health insurance. So whether you get treatment or not must not be dependent on how much money you have in your pocket. Once you're signed up, you're registered, you're a member of the national health insurance, you must be able to access care like this without having to pay at the point of service.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emily Pierre, our political leader. Second question.
Yeah, my question is pertaining to the trafficking of drugs and so in our country, right? We all know our. Okay, so the question is how we are in the future, the government will be dealing with drug interdiction. Based on what has been going on for the past time, our sister Isle Carriacou and PT Matnik has been the island where most of our drugs is trafficked. And recently, the Coast Guard was restricted and shut out of Carriacou. And I was very disappointed with that. And I want to know what we will be doing going forward to implement something where the Coast Guard could be up there and help to counter that drug from trafficking.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. As most persons are aware, our borders are very porous. And of course, having a dedicated Coast Guard craft there to patrol will curtail the whole issue of and minimize the incidence of drug trafficking because of the Grading Islands. And yes, there have been a dedicated place where the Coast Guard used to operate. I'm not fully aware of all the intricacies as to why the Coast Guard was removed from Carriacou, but that definitely will make a big difference in terms of security and, of course, to curtail the issue of contraband taking place in terms of drugs and drug trafficking. So that is something that I have recognized that has been removed, but I don't have information as to why that was the case. But we have been very, very serious about the whole issue of drugs and the impact that it has on our kids and our family, and we understand the challenges with it, and we are very serious about that aspect of it. And of course, the political leader can expand on further plans that the government have as regards to national security and, of course, the whole issue of drug trafficking.
Okay, thank you. So let me just make the point that our borders are very porous, and we have to ensure that we increase border control. That has to be a priority. So we have to invest more in that area. We have to ensure that we're protecting our borders because we see what's happening right around us. Just look over, just in Trinidad, and it tells you that we have to be far more proactive in that regard. And I want to say to you that there are a group of retired police officers who have been probably over the last 6 months to a year, have been very engaged in coming up with some of these solutions as it relates to expanded work in terms of national security. And they are an extreme asset as it relates to a national security strategy going forward. But as it relates to the specific question, border control must be far more support in that regard.
Let me just quickly add, coming from a foreign affairs background in diplomacy, one of the key components would be, I know my brother Tafawa is here, and he would understand that we have to work with our international development partners. One of the things that we had worked with countries like the United States, the Caribbean Basin Security Initiatives. And these are initiatives that are aimed to help us boost our security apparatus, especially in the area of maritime security. So these are key components, working with our partners, and that is where diplomacy and foreign affairs will become very important, very, very important. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We have a question from the middle, so I want you to listen very carefully. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want you to listen very carefully because this is very important information that you're getting, and it's first-hand information. You're not getting hearsay or dare-say information. You're getting it right from the team who are ready to govern your country, and this is serious business. So let's keep this as a serious aspect of today's proceeding. So let's proceed with the next question.
Let me say good evening to all the members of the head table, our political leader, and my brother from Carriacou, a brother from the soil. My name is Dr. Stephen Samuelson. I'm one of our NNP supporters, love in the house. One of the common complaints from the public is that we criticize the work of the other side and we do not say what we are doing in return to fix the problems. You have mentioned some of it here tonight. How are we going, as we move forward, how are we going to change the narrative to ensure that the public knows what we are doing and we can convince them, especially the undecided voters and the younger voters, to let them know that NNP is the best choice for the next election?
So as it relates to your observation, I often say this, you have to strike a balance. If you're going to be talking just about, as I said it today, if you're going to be talking just what you plan to do, then someone will not be convinced of why you need to change for this new plan. So we have to strike that balance. People have to be convinced that there is first a need for a change in government, and also convinced of what we are going to be doing better when there is a change. So that balance we have been striking. In terms of our plans, you notice we've given you the framework of those key areas that we are going to be focusing on. The priority, we have been engaging with persons. That is why if I speak to you now, I can say to you, number one issue in Grenada, any part of Grenada you go, cost of living will be the issue. And we've outlined over and over again what would be our first target within the first 90 days. What are those 1, 2, 3 things we're going to be doing? We know that government has majority shares in Grenlec. People are complaining about electricity bills. So a caring government obviously will have that as a top priority. We have said, for example, when you look at taxes imposed by this administration, VAT on sugar, levy on water, the digital service tax that has just been introduced, we are saying that's extra burdens that we didn't have to add, especially in a time like this. So we are saying there are some things we are going to reverse immediately as it relates to actions that this government has taken. But we're going to go further. For example, what we can do with electricity, for example. Then we have the baskets of, and I've been saying this since 2000 and people just not listening in some cases. So you have the basket of goods that are VAT exempted. I said it since on the 2024 budget. We are going to review those items. We've seen no significant effort made to add anything to that basket. VAT exempted. We've also added, for example, those items that are price controlled. These are actions, things we said we are going to do. So we're going to take the price control list, those items that a shopkeeper does not have the right to change the price. We're going to review that list. We're going to add additional items. That way, you are controlling what your bill is going to be when you go to the supermarket. So we've been saying quite a lot of things that we're going to do. We also mentioned, for example, young people. We talked about the rent to own of the homes. Even in the last campaign, we were speaking about things like housing for young people, special allocation of finances so that young people can access a first-time home, for example. We've been outlining a lot of those. But what I'll say to you is I totally agree with you that we must strike that balance and we need to continue. Repetition is important. And if you learn anything from Brother Trump, you would have learned repetition is important. So we will repeat.
I just want to quickly add, politically, while you raise those plans, I think it is also very important for us to understand and remember The new National Party have a resume of getting things done. We have a record that we can be proud of. And of course, we are going to continue to keep rolling out those plans as time goes by. But we also need your voice to share those plans. When we share them with you, we expect you to help us to share them with your brothers, your friends, your sisters, and other family members. So thank you very much for that question, and I really appreciate that.
My good brother, the doctor, I will ask one question. What really has this government done to move this country forward? And I will answer, absolutely nothing. What they have done, they came into office on a set of promises and have not delivered. Everything that you see them doing is work that the NNP had in the pipeline. They are just acting on the work of the NNP. Exactly. And the only thing that I see that they did recently is this design bill finance. Folks, that is a tsunami of cost for the Grenadian people that's coming. We do not know what is behind that. There will be so much taxes, right? This thing is bringing our economy right down to the ground. And I challenge you. I challenge each and every one of you. I have a business. Contact any business you know in Grenada right now today, and they will tell you that things are very, very bad. The government is trying to hide it. They're trying to sweep it under the carpet with a big social media campaign. But things are not bright in Grenada. So, as Brother Cox has said, the NNP, we've done it before. We've rescued this country before. And we prepared with this young, bright, and exciting team to rescue this country again. Clock it. Clock it. Clock it. Clock it.
Just one thing I want to also encourage you, apart from listening, I want you to have a question in mind. Analyze things. When things are told to you, ask questions. So if I say to you that government is going to remodel this building here, let's just put it this way, and I say to you, government is going to spend $1 million to remodel this building here. Now, if I come tomorrow and I say to you, government doesn't have the money to remodel the building. We need to remodel the building. We need to build this bridge. We need to do this road. We don't have the money. But I'm going to ask Brother Cox to come up with using his money to remodel the building. And then when he's finished remodeling the building, we are going... So what I want you to do at that point, is to ask yourself, what is in it for Brother Cox? Meaning, how much will it now cost us for Brother Cox to use his money to remodel the building? And the reality is, in some of these contracts, you don't hear a word about the cost. But guess what? In some cases, it might be costing you 5 times more. Brothers and sisters, let us ask ourselves some questions sometimes when things are not told.
All right. Thank you very much. Very important question. Anyone else in the audience would like to ask a question? Mr. Toussaint is going to bring the mic for you.
My question is pertaining to education. And you mentioned earlier about education reform, which is something that I am very passionate about. Let me come a little closer. I am an early childhood educator, and I follow the Ministry of Education website a lot. And a lot of the times, I feel like I keep my foot on their necks because I'm just appalled, I'm disgusted, I'm angry by a lot of the things that I'm seeing. One of the things that has been bothering me, and I have been reaching out to a lot of people who are teachers asking pertinent questions, because I like to do my research before I come at people. And one of the things that had me troubled was the data that they released as it pertains to the common entrance exams. And it was a 10-year statistic, so that also falls under the umbrella of the New National Party. And I was very disappointed because we have students exiting primary school performing at a C and a D level going into secondary school. What are we doing? I was looking at my phone for an email that I had sent to the Chief Education Officer in 2024, December 11th, 2024, on a paper that I was doing as it pertains to finding out the goals of the early childhood education department within the Ministry of Education. What were their goals? What was the aim of the department? What is the organizational chart? Where can I find information as it pertains to what it is that we're doing, the aim in moving children forward? Because my specialization is infants and toddlers. And I feel as though we spend too much in nursery school at 3 years old, pushing children on curriculum where children focus and they learn more through play. And then we don't enhance their developmental skills, learning to share, learning to resolve conflicts amongst themselves. And then we wonder why they're in secondary school and they're pulling cutlasses the minute time they have a conflict, because we never taught them how to resolve things amongst themselves at 3. What are we doing? In 2024, I emailed Mr. Jeremiah. Where can I find this information? I am a master's student at John Jay. My specialization now is policy and administration. Where can I find this information? I received an email back in 2024 telling me that he will send the email to the necessary department and they will get back to me. It is July 12, 2026, and I am yet to receive a response. And then my question is, what are, excuse me,
okay,
my
quiet down,
question
let her ask the
is,
question.
we have students writing SBAs in Grenada. How are these students supposed to find information if we do not have the information readily available to them? Why do we have to keep emailing and calling and no one is answering the phones just to get information that we should be able to go to the ministry's website and find?
All right, thank you very much. Let's answer, put the question,
So my question is, based on the external statistics that was put out by the Ministry of Education, what will the New National Party do differently to ensure that our students succeed when they exit primary school into secondary school? Because sending students from primary school to a secondary school performing at a C and a D level is not setting them up for success as adults. Okay. And this is very troubling.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great question.
Some very, very, very important, very, very relevant questions. if we are seriously talking about national development. So I want to commend our sister for some very important questions. Now, when I spoke a while ago, I actually mentioned a reset as it relates to education reform. And we do have to have a very urgent national conversation involving all of the key stakeholders. And the reason being, this would require all stakeholders on board. I know several attempts have been made, and sometimes getting all stakeholders on board becomes a challenge, but we pay the price, a very heavy price. So for example, I'll give you one policy change that we attempted to make just before the last election. I still feel very strongly that just as you go to medical school to learn to be a doctor, is the same way you must go to teachers' college to learn how to be a teacher. I feel so strongly. And the reason is that you want, if we think back, those of us in this room, think back of your teachers in primary school, secondary school. These were people who were highly passionate about education. That was their first love. We have to face the reality, and people tell you straight up, I'm going to spend 2 years in teaching and then move out. So in other words, teaching is not my first love. I want to do it as a job until I get my real love. And so we want to ensure that we are training and developing people who really want to stay in the teaching service. So I'm saying this to say, we have to pull all of our stakeholders on board to ensure that all of these changes, no one thing will fix the education system, no one thing. It requires a number of different things that require everyone on board as it relates to this. And the other thing I'm going to mention, we have shifted. I remember going to my son's graduation in preschool, and on the program, he was listed to read a storybook. Now we have shifted from, you absolutely right. What happened when we were in preschool? Is it that we're trying to have these children leave with too many accomplishments after preschool? We need a reset, and we need all stakeholders on board as it relates to the way forward for education in our country. And we are committed to that change that is absolutely necessary.
Thank you very much. The young lady made a very important point about access to universal secondary education. And while we believe that every child deserves an equal opportunity and a right to education, we believe that it has to be done when they're at that level. And that is the problem we are experiencing right now, the up and out system. This system was reverted before, but somehow there seems to be a fixation on it. We cannot send our children to secondary school if they are not that level. We have to ensure that they are prepared to get to that level. Furthermore, we have to, as we speak about curriculum reform, not all our students are able to survive on academia. We know that we have students that are very skilled and gifted with their hands. So it is time for us to reform our education system to cater to the needs of all students.
Thank you very much.
Good evening to everyone. I have a very important question because, as you said, when you left government, you left $500 million excess, right? And after the hurricane, we received enough money, I would say. I wanted to know if when you get in power, Are you going to appoint a public service commission to get to the bottom of what happened to our money? And I also would love to see that anyone you see any discrepancies, who can build houses and buy boats, etc. I want to know if you're going to make sure that they pay back our money or go to prison. Like, make sure that we get our money back.
Okay, thank you very much for your question.
So, okay. So let me say this, that the way the system is set up, it caters for accountability at various levels, right? Number one, a member of parliament should be able to ask any question of the government on any project, and that government is supposed to respond in parliament, providing the information. Now, this administration, and that's what I'm saying, the system allows for accountability. And it should not be a situation where a government has to wait for another government to come into office to look at what has happened. Now, in some instances, the opposition has asked questions of this government. I am certain that there are probably questions from years ago that has not been answered yet. That's number one. Number two, there is also in our system the Public Accounts Committee. The Public Accounts Committee is supposed to review the reports, documents, audited reports of government. I'll give you one example. And that is why I said to you, nobody would stop us from speaking, because we have a right to hold the government accountable. When we looked at the expenses for the 50th anniversary of independence, we wrote to the Ministry of Finance asking for some additional information to be provided within 14 days. The 50th anniversary was what, how many, 2 years ago? When was it? Three years ago. So I would think that something that happened 3 years ago, you don't even need 14 days to provide the information. You should have it right there at your fingertips. 14 days have expired, and the PS has indicated he don't know how soon he would be able to provide the information. So if government would be transparent, honest, and open, we should not have the problem that you're speaking about. So if information is provided when requested, you don't have to be in that situation. And even with the Public Accounts Committee, guidance can be provided. Remember, the experience of persons in the opposition is far more than those in government. And so we can also advise, we can also provide some kind of guidance to the government, but it appears they doesn't need that kind of guidance. So I would imagine we would have no other alternative but to wait till you get in government to look at those records. And Brother Cox wants to add.
We also have the Integrity Commission. You also have the Integrity Commission that is responsible for financial oversight and activities of all members of parliament and senior government officials. And so members of parliament are required to file their financials upon request by the Integrity Commission. So that also is another layer of oversight. But there are some members of parliament who we recognize have refused to submit their financials. So we are waiting to see what happens.
Thank you, Mr. Cox and Honorable Pierre. Let's entertain the next question.
Good evening to the head table. Recently in Grenada, we had that issue with Crown lands. I would like to know if the NNP administration have any plans in place in resolving Crown lands. And next question, I would like to know if you have any plans in place for young offenders coming out of prison. Thank you.
Could we have a little more clarity on the question on the Crown lands? You said recently. I'm not sure if you want to be specific what you were referring to recently.
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, in Granans, Guanquay especially, but we have other Crown lands, right? And you know, to get land now is very hard. So if you come from the diaspora and you want to go to build a house, if we could get any access to Crown lands in a matter of fact.
Thank you very much for your question. So on the issue of the Crown land matter and the squatting and the destruction of persons' property that recently took place in the Granans area. Now that matter is a long-standing issue. And one of the things that surround that matter is that there has been an evident dispute whether or not some of the lands are private property as against Crown lands. So I do have some knowledge of what transpired. They had several meetings with persons within the Granans area, Guanca in particular, regarding those lots. Some persons have been occupying some of those lots for more than 20 years. And some persons already have permanent structures on those lots. There was a significant query by a private owner indicating that some of the areas where persons occupied was belonging to them private owners, and persons were pushing back, claiming that it was government. So there was some work to be done in terms of ascertaining what the real tenure of those lands were. And once that was done, thereafter, a decision would have to be taken to have those lands regularized and to communicate the proper information as to what really transpired. Now, what had happened is a situation where government took a decision to demolish those properties for some persons, indicating that they had wrongly occupied those lands, meaning that they were squatting. I think there has been a better opportunity to do it differently, especially for persons who have been occupying it for some time. Government do have the power to acquire, even if it's private property, to acquire for a public good. And so they decided against that and choose to demolish. I'm not certain if persons were relocated or given an opportunity to get a home somewhere else, but that also is something that could have been done. So that is what I know about that particular issue, but it's a long-standing issue, a very long-standing issue that has been there for some time. Any other question? I think you had a question about availability for Crown land. Crown lands are done through applications are done through the Ministry of Agriculture, the Lands Division. For whatever purpose, some persons want land for agricultural purposes, you make a request through the Ministry of Agriculture. If it's for residential purposes, you also make a request. The division will direct you accordingly where they have lands available for such purposes, and then the process would follow. I think there is a committee that will look at all applications and approve those applications, and you will be made available, or you'll be notified whether or not you have been qualified to receive such land. So yes, there are opportunities for residents to have access to purchase Crown lands. So that is what I know.
I'll just add quickly 2 things on Crown lands. One, government lands are very limited. Sometimes people think any idle land that you see belongs to government. Very limited. And that is why government, before our administration, started the development of a land bank. And the whole idea was to identify all government lands, put it into one system where you can manage it so you know what is where and for what purposes, what is strictly for agricultural purposes, what can be used for housing, etc., etc. And it's a pity that that project has not been advanced, because I think it's so important. Government needs to know, where do you have lands and how do you manage it, right? We have to ensure that we do things properly, particularly that it's limited. So that's one thing I'll add, Jerry, to that. And just on the Gangkwai, the tongue twister, yeah. I mean, it's really sad, and that's the other angle of that I would speak to. I spoke to residents who were affected, and it's so sad. You know, the way you treat people. And in all my recollection, Cox, you here, and I remember cases where we would have had to relocate residents or move residents, if you want to say it, for greater good. So a developmental project, a hotel. But in every instance, I remembered people being treated with dignity. So alternative lands, alternative support as it relates to housing, and the way that this matter was handled, I really believe it was shameful. And it's unfortunate, to say the least, really unfortunate, the way that it was done. Sometimes it's not the what you do, but the how you do it. And just, I'm sure Sister Kate want to comment on the youth program.
Yes, there was a part of the question that spoke to young offenders. Just to remind you that in 2017, the Parliament of Grenada passed a bill, the Rehabilitation of Young Offenders Act. And what this bill did was to expunge the record of young offenders, giving them a second chance at life. Because we know that there are young people, based on their criminal records, they are debarred from applying for certain positions. So the bill removed their criminal records, allowing them to start over. So that bill is there. It can be relooked to enhance it, but we have to ensure that our young people participate in rehabilitation programs so that they can make right decisions.
All right, thank you very much. You see, ladies and gentlemen, our team knows the issues. They know exactly where it is, and they can go back and fix it and enhance on what is going on.
I think it's important on the young offenders that we are not going to start something new. I want to say to you, NNP has a legacy of support for young offenders. Right now, I cannot even have enough fingers to think of young men that I know personally who have benefited from a young offenders program under the NNP. So I can think of barbers who are functioning. I can think of farmers. I can think of people in their small businesses. And these programs, as Sister Kate said, all we have to do now is to expand these programs to ensure that the support is even more significant so that people can play a greater role in terms of their personal development and ensure that they can come back and make a valuable contribution to their society. So I don't want us to leave thinking that it's something new that we are going to be starting. We've done it before, and we are going to expand those initiatives so that persons can benefit in a more significant way.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the answers for the questions, okay? So we now move to our next individual for a question.
Yes, so my question is to Sister Nolan Thompson. So I'm a mother of a special need. You also is a mother of a special need. I want to know if after they finish special school, if you guys will have any plans for those children. Because my daughter, I mean, she's grown up and she has no, I mean, she never get nothing to do, like, from school, that was it. So do you guys have any plans for the special needs?
So I lived in Canada for many years, and my son was born in Canada. And when he was 8 years old, we moved to Grenada. And it was very challenging for me as a mother with a child on the spectrum, being able to have so many resources available to me in Canada and getting to Grenada and not having any resource at all. And I say it all because they do have a school for children that has many different functions, some sort of developmental delays. So it's a one hat fit all situation. They do not have independent education plans for the children. So it was extremely difficult. And trying to find my way, navigate my way through the system was extremely difficult for me. I met with someone here in the US who has a PhD in ABA services. And we went through so many plans together, what we can do, how we can do it, to create ways for ABA and IBI services, and we couldn't get it. I went to so many ministers. I don't want to call their names, but I went to different ministers. They told me, I even had one minister who told me that her grandchild was on the spectrum as well. Everyone told me that they knew it was a need, but there was nothing that they can do. They had nothing budgeted for those children. And I think that was one of the driving reasons for me to be here now, because I'm so passionate about it that I believe that the only change that can happen is by me being inside and not outside. And one of the things my team knows, including my political leader, everyone knows how passionate I am about that. And I will fight for it every single day. Once we are in government, it will be a priority.
Thank you very much for that question. I myself have had interactions, family members who are challenged with special needs. I mean, I didn't say it here this evening in my address, but that is one of the plans for Kiarakwam Pitimatnik that is top on the agenda in terms of having a dedicated school and a program for kids with special needs. We have been communicating that with our community meetings, village meetings. It is something that we believe that the diaspora can help if there are areas in which persons can interact through digitally or maybe interface through digital media, or if persons cannot come physically but can have certain training being done to help us establish this facility. Yeah. So I'm very, very encouraged by this. I'm very passionate about this because I don't know how these parents make it. I don't know how they make it because there are some parents who cannot leave home. They cannot hold a job because they have to be there every single minute with this child. And it is difficult. Just imagine, as a parent, you have kids who are pretty, what we consider to be normal, and it's still a problem. So just imagine that you have kids who display different tendencies, different characteristics. Like, for example, there was one day a child who was challenged was at my home. And I think we just turned our heads just for like a couple seconds. And when we look around, the child was not around. We picked up that child probably a good mile away. Full speed. Full speed. You know, and that's just the challenge that parents have to deal with on a daily basis. And we have given a solid commitment to ensure that we establish a school for special needs for Carriacou and Pretty Matlick, once given an opportunity to govern. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to also recognize Miss Jenny Simons from Simon Says.
Good evening. I am not satisfied with the answer we got for the Commission of Inquiry that we will need. And I say this to say that 3 months after the NDC got into office in 2022, the Prime Minister corralled a group down to the Trade Center and spoke about faith and where and all sorts of things. And he's a lawyer. Sue him. And they're supposed to be doing an investigation of faith. And when they investigate faith, they didn't come and tell us that they saw nothing on our now political leader. And that what they saw was on one of their ministers who got $3,000 from Faith, the Minister of Education, for doing a job that he was being paid for in the Ministry of Education that he worked. They didn't tell us that. And every other Monday morning, they bring in the parliament, they go into parliament to amend our laws. The procurement law, the finance management law, among others, so that they can continue their corrupt ways and get away with it. They have dismantled the FIU, the Integrity Commission, the Police Commission. The police commissioner and the deputy commissioner are politically exposed. Right? The Integrity Commission is as quiet as a lamb. The FIU was dismantled, and the Prime Minister placed his friends in that unit. I have written to the Integrity Commission on corrupt matters within this government. They said I had to rewrite, I didn't do certain things proper. When the Prime Minister was on one of his programs, he was asked about the corruption, the bribery to be exact, that took place with one of his ministers, Andy Williams, $115,000. He said, the Prime Minister said, the police, the RGPF is there, the FIU is there, the Integrity Commission is there. Well, I had already had my experience with the Integrity Commission. So I wrote to the police, the FIU, and the RGPF, going on 2 years now. The Commissioner of Police, he answered me, and he said he needed more information. I gave him the information he needed. They never came back to me. To date, I am waiting on the FIU. I called. Every time I called, they said they'll get an officer to speak to me or to get in touch with me. This never happened. And I want you all to know that this guy that is running the FIU is who the Prime Minister, who they want to put in as our DPP, which when they put him there, we cannot remove him. You understand, the last DPP that just retired was there for 30-something years. So if we allow this administration to put in their own DPP, proper smoky pipe. So I want to see that we need, when the NNP get into office, we need a commission of inquiry. At the, when the NDC got into office, Minister Tevin Andrew and Minister Ron Redhead on a radio station in Carriacou said some people are going to go to jail. The thing boomerang on them, they ain't even know yet. Because they are the ones going to jail. We have to. And when we have Minister Andrew, and I call him names, I doesn't afraid to call names because I have enough receipts. When Minister Andrew could say after the elections that he had $2 in his bank account, and today he could say he can retire, right? He have boat, he has sheep, he have hogs, he have everything, right? How he gets it, right? So the procurement law that they changed from 15,000 to 100,000 is to accommodate them and their friends and the way they spend our money. And this is a serious matter. These people are committing fraud and corruption in the wide open. In the wide open, nobody afraid. $500,000 is missing from the 50th anniversary money. And that's what they're telling us. That's what they're talking about. We don't know what else. But we know for sure $500,000 is missing. Where is it? Who took it? And they know who took it. They, as the ministers are speaking about it, shoo, 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 shoo. They know who took it. Right? So we would like a commission of inquiry into all these many monies, including Polaris. Including Polaris. And that is the biggest corruption that is going on in Grenada now. The biggest corruption. And so make all your lists. Make all your lists. It's a lot. And we need a commission of inquiry. And if you have to get it all now, start now.
Thank you very much, Sister Jenny.
Well, all I would say is that this is not the first engagement that we've had where the people are calling for a commission of inquiry. And we have heard you, we have noted, and Jenny, you were not the first. It came from the back earlier, and we are taking note of the concerns of the people, and our responsibility is to act on behalf of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Pierre and the head table. At this time, we will be wrapping up the question and answer segment. Did you enjoy? If there is one tomorrow, will you be back? All right, there's love in the house. All right, don't let this information fall on deaf ears. You're going to go out there and you're going to spread the information with your friends, your family, and those who are misinformed about what's happening back in Grenada. You're not going to just take a flight and go back to Grenada for a week or 2 weeks and just feel, well, you know, it's all good. What they show you is all gloomy, is all, you know, golden. So whatever was started, it was started under the new National Party, and we know that. We know the facts, and let's continue to push the facts. Okay? Love in the house? All right. Before we go forward, I want to also announce that the first annual summer breakfast, the NNP Carriacou and Petit Martinique chapter present the first annual summer breakfast on August 22nd, 2026 at 10 a.m. So put that in your calendar, mark it there, and be ready to support. That will be held at 302 East 91st Street, and that's on between Lenox and Clarkson. That's the basement where DJ Gemini is based. Okay, you get good music, good food, support the new National Party, Carriacou and Petit Martinique chapter. At this time, I call on Mr. Colin to give us move a vote of thanks on the behalf of the New York chapter for everyone attending.
Good afternoon to everyone. I acknowledge the protocol already established. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Grenada diaspora, good evening again. As we draw this historic town hall meeting to a close, it is with utmost pleasure I take the time to thank Ms. Honorable, a little twist tongue here, Honorable Emmeline Pierre, leader of our Majesty. Let us hear it again for leader of the Majestic. Opposition also, and political leader. We'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and spend some time with us, to energize us, to let us know that things are happening. You're going to make things happen home. We appreciate you for that. Mr. Cox, we would like to say thank you. Senator Cox, my apology. We want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to visit with us and to talk on the issues that are going on in Carriacou. We appreciate it. We thank you very much. Dr. Adrian Joseph, we want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to visit us, energize us, mobilize us, and keep us informed. We thank you for doing that. Over on this side, Sister Nolan, we'd like to thank you for being that steadfast lady that you are. You speak to us with that commanding attention. We appreciate you for that. We appreciate you. We are happy to be blessed with your presence. Thank you for taking the time of your busy schedule to come and spend some time with us. We appreciate you, and we hope that you guys will be back soon again. Last but not least, my longtime friend. We go way back. Sister Skate, Senator Skate. We'd like to thank you for visiting us. We appreciate you. We love you. We hope that you may continue to do the great work that you're doing. And we hope that when election comes, this team, the NNP team, the NNP team, will be victorious. And most of all, to you, the people that are here, you took the time of your busy schedule. Your presence here shows that the NNP matters, and we appreciate you for that. We want to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you that showed up here tonight. We appreciate you. And all we asking is that let's stay together. Let's band together because we cannot continue the trend Grenada is going right now. As diaspora, as Grenadians in the diaspora, we are concerned. We want to see the Grenada that we know, the Grenada that we love. We want to bring back Grenada on its rightful place where it's supposed to be. And through the new national party, with our political leader at the helm, we're going to do it. Let's stand and give her. Come on, let's show the love in the house. We're going to do it, my people. Jason, give us a song, Jason. Give us a song, Jason.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Toussaint. All right, we have a little meet and greet at this time. You can mingle with the candidates. Mingle with the candidates before you leave. And thank you very much for coming. Have yourself a safe journey home. And we pray that God's covering will be upon you all.